Skulls and Shackles. We're currently going into book 3. This is today, July 26th, is the 1 year anniversary of the launch of this channel. So yeah, that's right, we did it, guys. 1 year. Everyone looks so excited. I can see just that amazing level of excitement in everybody.
Yay.
I haven't reset the
Yay.
overlay for the new party, so it may not be factually correct yet. But we're gonna go. Oh no, it's got everybody's name, so that's fine. We'll probably keep the name because Dan dies all the time, and I don't want to reset his character constantly. Bam, bam, had to get that one in there. So, what's gonna happen? Real quick, I'm gonna ask everybody to do introductions. Then I'm going to recap everything that happened over the last 2 books, and then we're going to talk about the start of this book, and then we're actually going to start it. So let's do that. There's also currently a button over my head that says skip introductions, so that's a thing that will happen. Dan, how are you doing this week now that I threw some salt at you?
I'm doing pretty alright. Just reading up on my modules, getting ready to drive all the way to Indianapolis for Gen Con on Tuesday, actually, because I'm a crazy person. I'm probably just gonna. I don't think the hotel reservation is for Tuesday night, so I'm probably just gonna crack the windows open, take a sleeping bag, and sleep in the back of my station wagon. So that'll be legit.
Do not get arrested.
Yes, man.
I'll find a quiet rest area or something.
I
Excellent.
thought people did that at Gen Con all the time. Just sleep in their back of cars.
This is crazy.
Couple of nights
talk.
before.
Couldn't live like that.
I can do it for one night.
Listen, if it doesn't have at least 1,000 thread count, I'm not sleeping there. That's
Well, it's a sleeping
Wow.
bag. It's a sleeping bag in the back of the car.
sorry,
So-
man.
No.
I think his statement stays.
Yeah, because what sleeping bag has 1,000 thread count?
Exactly. All right, Dom, how are you doing this week?
I just got done cleaning apartments and condos with my mom. Fun work. I'm learning a lot about losing weight. Oh yeah, I'm at 26 pounds thanks to doing this for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. Fucking
Congrats.
swole as shit.
Nice.
Congrats.
Pledge yourself to the Iron Church, bitches. That's right.
I was hoping y'all was gonna pick the Iron Church,
The Iron Church.
but I can't lie. The other theme is actually pretty cool for Tuesdays, which I saw what happened, and I was like, "Oh my god, the brutality!"
Oh, I'm not talking about the Church of Gorham. The Iron Church is pumping that metal, bro.
Mhm.
The Iron Church is real. It exists in this universe.
Wow.
The real world.
Sorry, the only gym I go to is the Armstrong if I get more shiny. Sparkle in the sunlight.
Okay.
But yeah, should we talk about how we changed our characters or what? Or that's for later.
We'll save that for later.
Okay.
All
You get
right.
proficient
Interesting.
with even one siege engine.
Adam, how are you doing
Right.
this week?
A little tired, not gonna lie. Last weekend I was backpacking and camping without my 1,000 thread sleeping bag or tent. And then last weekend, we went up to the mountains and hung out by the lake. So just drove back today, and I'm a little tired, but looking forward to kicking off Skulls and Shackles 3. I'm still in my remodel, which continues to go on for until next year. But so there's always a bunch of crap behind me. Apologize for that, but one day it won't be there.
Remember the old days where you had put a folding screen behind you? I went back and watched some of the old Skulls and Shackles videos. Man, I just want to hop in here for my introduction before we get to Craig and say, watching just the first 10 seconds of every single one of the Skulls and Shackles videos, and then Plunder and Peril is like watching my beard grow in slow motion. Yeah, it's been fascinating just seeing, because that's like the only thing that changes on my face is like yeah, it's been weird. Craig, how are you doing?
I am doing marvelous.
Fantastic.
Everything seems to be going all right. And,
Any car stuff?
I can't remember if I told you guys that I got my coilovers for the front. I got new shocks and springs for the front. I
don't
took
recall
the
that.
tailgate off, made some braces so that I can shell out the tailgate, just put nothing but the little metal part back up. Cuts about 50, 60 pounds off the back. 40 pounds off the back. I can't remember. Anyway.
Cool.
And made a jig to hold the bed so I can cut everything else in the bed out. That's finished. It's bolted on, so progress.
Excellent. All right, cool. Let's talk about characters then. We're going to start with the only character who survived since the beginning. Once known as Sifrig, he is now the man... Uh-oh. Well, we were going to go with Craig, but...
Oh, he's back.
Is he
My
back?
headsets are just randomly turning themselves off. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to start with the guy whose character has been around the longest.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sifrig, you're the only character that survived from the beginning.
Oh, dude, I wish you hadn't said that. I'm so screwed. I'll never make it through the night. I'll
No.
never make it through the night, man.
I've got your back, man.
You'll be fine.
Literally.
Back.
You're ready to take some damage. I went in and dropped the 2 rogue levels off of Sifrig and Scourge, Master Scourge, and put in 2 barbarian levels instead. And about the only change is that I traded a D6 of sneak. I lost evasion because of the medium armor anyway. So I've traded D6 of sneak, a couple of saving throw points that were pretty darn nice for knockdown, which whenever I make a melee attack, I get a free trip attack against somebody as well, once a round, which is pretty darn sweet. And I've actually got a rules question about that I can't find anywhere. But anyway. That's about it. He picked up a handful of hit points, and he now has a 1 will save. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we gotta clear it for.
Yep.
Well,
Protect our
it's more
minds.
when he rages, though, right?
Yeah, actually, it goes up when you rage normally.
Actually,
Yeah.
will save goes up by 2, I
Yeah,
think.
your conning your will goes up by 2 when you rage.
Right. So
I just actually played my PFS Scald for the first time at Emerald Spire level 1.
How's that? Everybody have rage. Everybody get angry, Rocky. Get mad.
Oh, there was an occultist arcanist who was summoning eagles, and there was a hunter with an animal companion. Hunter didn't have rage. Animal companion did. Summons had rage. Everybody rage. And a blood rager who is using his own rage.
Well, Dan, let's introduce your character then.
All right. The name is Agrajag. So far, still alive. But gunslinger of the sea. Etc.
Etc.
Etc. Those of you who watched Plunder and Peril probably already kind of know me.
Yeah, but we're filling people up for anybody that didn't, or for people that this is their first time watching on the channel.
Well, this here is my baby. I haven't named her yet, but I found her on the back of a truck. It's a 4710 M12 carbine, courtesy of the Arkansas Gunworks.
Is it M12 or an M12? Because that was
M1-2.
Okay.
M1-2. Yeah, I had a bit of a run-in with, let's call them less than hospitable spellcaster, and I figured, what's the opposite of magic? Guns. What's even better than guns? Guns that are also magic. And so that's that, pretty much.
Alright, cool. Dom, what's up with your new character?
Well, it's still aces, except that I retrained him as a Unchained Rogue with levels of Wizard. Basically, he's been shuffling through books, old notes, because he lost his memories on why he became a druid and why he hated certain nations. So he's like, hey, this seems very interesting. Yeah, this is really good stuff. And he lost his 1 point that he had in wisdom, so his wisdom went down to a 15. He put that point into intelligence. Now he has a 17 intelligence, and he just started crafting and making stuff, and he enjoys it. Right now, he's actively put points into Craft Siege Engine and Carpenter books. Bread and butter, thanks to reading, and he brushed up on his knowledges thanks to that. And yeah, he kept his sleight of hand because that's what he was good at. But since the captain don't want to mess with traps anymore, he's willing to take over that burden.
Okay.
And he has 1 level as Arcane Trickster now, so he's can do that magic disarming from 15 feet away, or is it 30 feet away? I can't remember.
Oh, Mage Hand for sleight of hand and disable
That
device.
sounds like something you really should know, especially if you're going to bring it up. Maybe you should check
I know.
it.
Don't. Yeah. You can do it.
I was about to play
range
an Arcane
leaders.
Trickster once. He went the way a lot of my characters do.
Yeah.
But the first
you
Arcane
took
Trickster I played...
specialist range character into melee and died. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Didn't even take him into melee.
Sometimes you have a specialist melee character, and then you take him into melee alone, and he dies. It's just, there's a lot of you going into places alone and dying.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Now, in Jade Region, I'll admit, in Jade Region you weren't alone, but you were in the front.
Well, that cone got the whole room.
Yeah.
You walked in front. You were literally in
what
front of the tank. Both of them. Both tanks.
Had to get
Arthur.
the burning hands off somehow.
I want to make sure. Is it okay I could take Thief of Legends? I took a...
I don't know what that is.
It's a story feat.
Story feat.
Yes.
Since the goal is I have to steal an item leaf worth 50,000 gold. But I don't have to actually keep it. Like, it could be a job or something.
Okay. All right, Adam. Let's hear about your character. I think you did some rebuild on Alaris.
Yeah, it wasn't major. I was a full elf life oracle, and now he's a half elf life oracle, but he's more going towards the. Gosh, I just completely mind blanked. Holy Vindicator, and he's been on the ship that's been kind of leaning more towards Callistria. And so I think he's going to be kind of getting to be more militant and trying to encourage as the first mate or first officer, he's trying to encourage the religious, because there's so many different religious factions on our ship. He wants to kind of, separate the crew into more the Callistrian side. So, he's more or less what he was before, except he's a little beefier and a little more militant. But essentially, he's still going to be the party healer.
All right, cool. I think it says something about my channel that I have multiple shows moving closer to Callistria now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dan. Sexist Dan.
I had nothing to do with that.
I mean, this
Are
module,
you kidding, Dan? You're literally like, we should play elves. I was like, all right. And then you're like, yeah, and we should all be women as well. Why? Because she's the god of whores? Is that why, Dan?
No.
You think women are whores? Is that what you...
No. In Keonan, there's
you see Mistral in the background raise his hand, I'm a whore.
No, in Keonan, there's a league of entirely female Callistrian assassins. And that's
there is. There specifically are female assassins of Callistria.
And that's where I got the idea from, Arthur. Not
so
sexist.
Would a Holy Vindicator of Callistria be essentially a pimp? Is that how it works?
No.
Yes.
No.
They'd be like, you mess with any of my girls?
Nope. Everything you're saying is wrong. It's not a thing.
Right.
You can be one, but not because you're a Holy Vindicator. It doesn't make you want to slap women in the face and sell them for money.
You'll slap women in the face. You slap the people that offend the women or the men.
That's a male equivalent of a madam. What's the male equivalent of that?
A pimp?
No, not a pimp. Pimp has that negative beating connotation.
Not necessarily. A male could be a pimp. A female could be a pimp. It's all how you spin it.
I was thinking more of a bodyguard. Pimp was just the first word that came to mind.
Monsieur, according to the internet.
Monsieur. That sounds fancy. I like it.
According to the internet.
Okay.
Internet, you make everything better.
So,
No.
Commodore Scourge, I present you a magical, not a magical ring, but a ring that will enhance a bond between us that will.
You can
During
just tell him it's a spell component for Shield Other. You don't have
It's
to.
Come on, man! It's storytelling.
Storytelling.
So the story he was telling could be interpreted in many very strange ways.
It's the bond of friendship. Yu-Gi-Oh!
being
It's
that's
like
25
it's a
minutes
magical
after.
bond that's gonna bring us. It's not really magical though, but yeah, that was going places.
Deep art places.
We wear this magical focus for Shield Other.
Yes, there we go. That's something you can say in character. That's not.
That sounds pretty awesome.
And I'll even present it without being down on one knee.
What? There's an iterative text tab now. I don't have to. Ah, that's amazing.
Okay. Well, I got a speech prepared to do the recap here. So, Skulls and Shackles is one of my original shows, and watching the first two books really shows the difference in GM style, broadcast style, and quality that I've picked up over time. Now, I can't recap everything that's happened, but I'll fill you in on the main story from the first two books. The party began as a meeting between the original characters, of whom only Sifrig is alive. They were drinking in the pirate capital of the Shackles, Port Peril, when they were drugged with cinnamon knockout by the infamous Mr. Plug. Plug tried to humiliate the captured crewmen when they awoke, but using Sifrig's brass knuckles and some magical powers, they quickly routed their would-be attackers and thugs. They learned they were on a ship called the Wormwood, led by Free Captain Barnabas Harrigan, a man who rarely spoke to his lower deck crew, preferring to go through his officers. The Master-at-Arms, a villainous torturer known as Master Scourge, directed his flunky, Mr. Plug, to continue to make the characters' lives hell on Earth. While completing their various shipboard tasks, they recovered their equipment, formed alliance with other crew members, and snuck around the ship, eventually coming to earn the captain's trust after they boarded the merchant vessel Man's Promise. During the fight, they quickly secured the wheel, and even stopped an attack on Captain Harrigan. After finishing the remainder of their boarding training under Master Gunner Riaris Kroon, they were assigned to the prize crew of the Man's Promise underneath Master Scourge and Mr. Plug. Things got worse as Scourge and Plug planned to steal the ship and squib it, a process where the rigging and identifying marks are altered to appear as a new vessel. Instead of paying attention to their course, the pair celebrated their newfound luck being blown off during a storm. After being attacked by Sahagin, they sent a shore party to the mysterious Bone Rack Island to regain fresh water and to eliminate the characters on their return, while they were vulnerable during the reloading process. Encountering disease, pestilence, sharks, ghosts, undead, and a mysterious planar entity known as the Graveminder, the party rescued their other shipmates, who were taken by the Sahagin, clicked the underwater Sahagin lair, and returned to the ship. When reaching the Man's Promise, they found that the crew had turned on the two officers to favor the party, after a member of the party worked so hard to get the crew on their side during the trip. The ship was then squibbed, during which time they met Free Captain Merrill Pegsworthy, a former Andorran officer who sailed to free halfling slaves, called Slips, from Chelish hands. The crew set sail, going on a number of adventures where they killed paladins, robbed village, coveted gold, hunted down a Cyclops shapeshifter, encountered an underwater dragon eidolon, fought honorably against ghosts and Kai ninjas and samurais, critically disabled a Chelish man of war, owned a tavern, lost a tavern, took an island, lost an island, got poisoned on the island, and finally fought a flying sorceress over the island, who finally slew one of their number. On the sorceress's back was a tattoo map with a great treasure trove of Sahagin origin, which they raided. Killing and intimidating their way under the waters, their numbers were once again lessened by a four-armed super mutant Sahagin. Finally claiming the vast wealth of the sea, the crew sailed home to Port Peril to recover one of their allies' lives, take on a new crew, head to Blood Cove, get a new vessel, and then finally turn in their vast wealth for a chance to become free captains and officers of the Shackles, and sail without fear of interference. Bam. Now, leave anything out? Anything important?
Sifrig did not participate in the Paladin murder.
Yes.
Actually left.
I feel
Left
like that's
his
a
weapon
very
behind.
minor technicality, though.
You were unconscious at the time. I'll give
Not a
you that.
murderer. Well, that time.
All right, so introductions are done there. We're caught up. Did take a little while, though, but we're back on track. So let's talk about this book. I would like to do away with the XP component because it really just is super, super boring and really cumbersome. And just have you guys level whenever you reach checkpoints. Does that sound good?
Fair enough.
Awesome.
Fair enough.
That's actually my favorite way to level.
Okay, cool.
The way I generally run my games too. So yeah.
Yeah, because I start when you hit book 4, it's like math. Damn.
Yeah. So, you have a new ship. What were you guys going to call it? I don't think we ever decided.
No, we did not.
Yeah, hard questions.
Well, we had a lot of dolphin references in our last ship.
That's
Do we want
because,
to
yeah, we talked
Do we wanna
about in the
continue it?
first two books that dolphins are horrendous, murdering terrorists. They're
They
just
are.
horrible monsters all around.
Can we go with the happy narwhal? Narwhal,
How about-
narwhal, swimming through
How
the
about
ocean.
Escape from LA?
Let's go.
No, you can't make
Yeah.
you can't make meta references. Sorry for party rocking, bro.
Escape from
Well,
IK?
let the
The Isle of
captain decide,
Cortos?
because he's the original. Captain, what do you think we should name our vessel?
I think he's still getting his new headset back together.
Sorry. He just quit on me 2 more times. Apologies, y'all. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
There was a
Awesome.
question as to what you wanted to call the ship.
I think I'd prefer to stay with the dolphin references. That seems to kind of be the flavor.
Okay.
I didn't hear all the suggestions though.
Well, me and Dan made some jokes, but you know.
Oh, so
How
there
about-
haven't been any.
How
dolphin
about
references.
how about the raging dolphin?
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Okay. We are now the raging
Says Scourge the
dolphin.
Barbarian.
There's the barbarian.
You know, I watched Conan the Barbarian today for the first time. That is a weird ass movie.
The original
what?
or the remake?
The original. I've never
Yeah,
seen any Conan before.
Weird enough, I was talking to my mom. Apparently, she was a Conan junkie when the comic book was new, when she was a kid.
That's some weird shit.
Nice.
Man.
The soundtrack for the original movie is actually fantastic.
I can imagine so. It's those 80s music that's awesome. God,
When I first started playing D&D, I just throw that soundtrack in the background and start creating worlds.
I don't know, when I D&D, it's stuck between gaming music and 80s music, like Queens.
All right. Well, we're going to hop in here. And to set the scene, the raging dolphin is sailing with all its sheets in the wind. Everything's creaking forward. It's gliding across the water rather quickly with its new, fresh frame. Who's at the wheel?
Arcajak is pretty good, if
I
the captain will allow it.
I have a 14 profession, but if anybody else is close, he'll.
I have a 12.
Okay, that's good
Yeah.
enough.
I only have
All
a
right.
7.
So I guess we've got
I'll stand
Agrajog
by.
at the wheel with the Commodore standing behind him.
Yeah. The Commodore can take over if we encounter anything that needs to be shot at.
Oh yeah,
Because-
did we talk money yet?
I don't know that we need to talk money.
No.
Do we?
Hand waves.
I prefer to do that outside of game unless
Yeah.
it's
But we
very
never
pertinent.
do.
Yeah, I mean,
Email.
I don't know what money issue that needs to be talked about, but it definitely was something we should have done in the 3 months, 4 months since we've played this particular one. But yeah, back to the scene I was setting with the crisp sea air as you glide into port, sailing in there. Numerous other pirate ships of various designs